Hello and welcome back to the Payday 2 Starter Guide. For more information on the Starter Guide, check out the video linked in the description below. Today we are going to be covering the basics of loud. Going loud is how most people play Payday 2 for a couple reasons. First off, stealth is tricky and messing up a tiny bit can snowball into being spotted and not being able to slip away again. This is when you go loud and it's easier to recover from screw-ups when loud. And if you fail loud, you fail the heist. So how do you make plan B work? Let's talk about that. First off, if you have beaten the basics and visited the safe house, I recommend checking out Storyline. This is under the CrimeNet option along the left side of the screen. Here you can claim rewards for playing the basics, visiting the safe house, reaching level 5, and that puts us at completing a jewelry store and a bank heist. You don't need to follow the storyline, but at least cashing in those first couple missions scores you a few $1,000s more, as well as maybe a level up or two. Next, let's go back to our inventory and check out our latest acquisition. In the end of the last episode, I bought the Union 556 assault rifle. Today, let's try adding some weapon mods. Weapon mods are available in two key places right now. We'll touch on the second place during our first heist, but at the end of the basics heists and the safe house mission, you can pick one of 3 cards. And the one you pick becomes an item drop. It could be a mask, a pattern, material, or color scheme for a mask. It could be some bonus cash or experience, or most vitally, a weapon mod. These range from barrel extensions to stocks and sights for most guns in the game, and there's hundreds of the things to collect. You can unlock them quicker when you get to a higher level, but for a while you'll be stuck grinding cards. If you have the Gauge Spec Ops Pack DLC from the Ultimate Edition, you will have one mod that you can equip right away, the Speed Pull Magazine. This modifies your weapon magazine, obviously, letting you reload in half the time with no other drawbacks. Some weapons, like the AM car or AK rifle, can equip a massive quad-stacked mag that typically holds 60 rounds, but I personally prefer a faster reload, even if it means I'm reloading more often. If you need to quickly get back to fighting, you can get out and back in lightning fast, whereas you might have trouble reloading a magazine that takes longer. Next, let's talk real quick about our weapon stats. Magazine and total ammo are pretty obvious. This is how many bullets you can fire before needing to reload and going completely empty, respectively. Rate of fire is how many bullets the weapon can technically fire in a single minute if you never had to worry about reloading or running out of ammo. Damage is how much damage the bullets do to the enemies. Accuracy determines the bullet spread, but stability is a bit different, requires talking about a hidden value of each weapon, recoil numbers. Recoil in Payday 2 has a maximum and a minimum value for both X and Y, horizontal recoil, and vertical muzzle climb. These numbers are rolled every time you shoot and multiplied with a modifier. This modifier is based off of your stability. At 100 stability, the modifier number is 0.5, and at 0 stability, it's 3. In other words, getting to 100 stability will have you feeling half the recoil the gun otherwise should. At 80 stability, you're feeling the regular amount of recoil. At 40, it's double, and at 0, it's triple. Both accuracy and stability are measured in increments of 4, so you could think of it as they both have 25 steps, and every 10 away from 25 adds 1 to the recoil multiplier for stability. The Union 556 has average recoil numbers for rifles. They're on par with the AM car, but it does more damage, fires faster, and also has more weapon mods to help it reach 100 stability, which makes it very capable for downrange play. That's why I favor this over other rifles. As for concealment, that's more for stealth play, but it does come in handy when using certain skills. That mostly explains how much the weapon lowers or raises your detection risk. A higher number is better, lower number is less concealable. Threat is another weapon attribute that not many games have, and that's how well the weapon scares enemies. When you fire at them, even if you don't hit them, there's a chance to threaten your enemies. They'll shoot less often and they're more likely to miss, and being threatened again causes them to duck out of the way and stop whatever they're doing. Our AM car was a little bit more threatening than the Union, but again, we can pick up more weapon mods for the thing as we play. And lastly, reload speed is measured in seconds, and that's for a full reload. Reloading with some bullets left in the magazine cuts that down a little bit. While this is the last weapon stat on screen, there is one more very important stat that the game doesn't mention. You need to do some digging on the wiki to learn about it. Ammo pickup is how many bullets we get from a defeated enemy. When we're heisting, enemies we kill will drop a small box of bullets, and we recover some ammo based on a random number rolled between the minimum and maximum ammo pickup values on our gun. The Union can pick up anywhere from 4.5 to 8.25 bullets per kill, and the AM car picks up 6.6 to 12.1. So while the AM car had more ammo in hand and picks up more with the same recoil values as the Union 556, we have a lot more room to improve the Union, as it can take a different barrel and a different lower receiver that offers a lot of stability at the cost of a little concealment. We will definitely be coming back to this thing as we rise through the criminal underground. Let's take a quick detour to my Spec Ops submachine gun real quick, where I've given it an LED combo. This is a gadget. You activate it by pressing Q by default, and it comes with both a laser to make aiming easier and a flashlight for low light environments. You can customize the color of your laser and your flashlight by clicking Customize Gadget, in case you want to blind your opponents with a blue laser or a bright pink flashlight. Lastly, let's touch on skills. I'll give each skill tree a more thorough look in a video all about skills, but with the handful of skill points we have now, we can grab a couple. Under Technician's Oppressor skill tree is a skill by the name of Steady Grip that offers big bonuses to accuracy and stability. Take this skill if you can spare the points. It's really good on pretty much any weapon you throw at it. When you click a skill, you get its basic version. With the tier 1 skills, it costs 1 skill point. Click it again to ace the skill. This costs 3 for a tier 1 skill. It's more skill points, but it offers additional bonuses. In this case, 16 stability. Then under Enforcer's tank tree, I'm going to grab just the basic version of Resilience, which will then let me grab the aced version of Die Hard and the basic versions of Bullseye and Shock and Awe. The first tier skill isn't all too important here. The big things I was after was Die Hard's 20 armor points to ballistic vests, the faster armor recovery of Shock and Awe, and the armor on headshot from Bullseye. I'll explain why I didn't ace Bullseye in just a bit, but from here, grab whatever you think sounds best. If you're running an assault rifle or submachine gun like I am, or any of the other automatic weapons, you might want to grab a couple more skills in Oppressor. If you're using a pistol, the Fugitive's Gunslinger tree offers bonuses to pistols as well as akimbo weaponry. Shotgunner under Enforcer is the tree for boomsticks of all kinds, and Sharpshooter under Mastermind will help you if you're running a sniper rifle or other single-shot rifle. Also in Mastermind are Controller and Medic, 2 skill trees I consider vital if you're going to play a support role. Medic lets you bring more doctor bags and or first aid kits, and Controller lets you dominate enemies by shouting at them and convert them into temporary teammates. Again, we'll give these trees a more thorough look in another video, but for now, just read the skill names and descriptions, compare them to your weaponry, your armor, your deployable that you plan to bring, make a couple quick decisions. You don't have too many skill points, so don't feel bummed about not being able to get the best skills right now. Just grab what you think is best and what you can afford. Finally, we're ready to go play our first big heist. If you're brand new to the game still, one mission I cannot recommend enough is Mall Crasher, hosted by the contractor Vlad. You can wait for it to pop up on either CrimeNet or CrimeNet Offline. CrimeNet is hosted by other players, CrimeNet Offline is just missions with the AI bots. Or you can purchase the rights to play it through the contract broker. This pulls from your offshore cash, money you only touch to buy new heists or skill slots. This isn't your regular spending money. I'd recommend playing on normal or hard, but I'm going to purchase the overkill difficulty level just to show off the mission. When you load into Mall Crasher or any other heist, you are presented the loadout screen. Don't ready up just yet. Purchase one of the 2 gas can assets, maybe a doctor and ammo bag if you want. Check your loadout versus everyone else. There's nobody else here, that's fine. Maybe put on a cool song like Trouble's Always Inbound or Ode to Greed, and let's roll. In Mall Crasher, there's a garage on the left side of the building. We can pick up our gas can just after masking up. We can head upstairs to the top floor, break some windows, set the gym on fire, break more windows, steal some jewelry, and here's the tricky part. If you toss a grenade in the middle of the car dealership after everyone's cleared out, just right between the car and the front counter, you will blow up the car and knock the headphones off the wall of the tech store. After enough destruction, we can leave. If you see these little mail packages sitting around, pick them up. These are Gauge Mod courier packages. Collecting enough of them will unlock new weapon mods. This is that other way we can get weapon mods right now, and this is such a helpful thing. Every mission, every heist, has at least 2 of these, and it depends on your difficulty. Normal has 2, hard has 4, very hard has 6, overkill has 8, and anything above that has 10. But we're done with Mall Crasher. It's a very quick heist. It doesn't require a lot of bag moving or a lot of thinking, and it pays out really well for the trouble. During this heist, though, I do want to call attention to a few other things. First off, our little health donut, you'll notice, has a white outer ring and a fat green inner ring. The green is our health and the white is our armor. While we have armor points, most enemies cannot deal health damage to me, and if they break my armor, the next bullet that hits will deal health damage. That's why I took Bullseye Basic. We can ensure that we more or less always have a little bit of armor to keep our health safe. And because it usually doesn't matter whether it's 5 armor points or 20, I don't think I need the full aced version of that skill. With Anarchist, Armorer, maybe Sociopath, you might find more use in the full version, otherwise just stick with the basic. Additionally, when you get low on health, do not use a doctor bag. A doctor bag only has 2 uses and serves a more important role. It resets the number of times you've gone down in a heist. When you hit 0 HP, you enter Bleed Out, and you will then perish after 30 seconds, going into custody. Your teammates can revive you, but it costs 1 of your downs. If you go down 3 times normally, 4 with 9 lives aced, a use of the Doctor Bag will fill your health and set you back to your starting number of bleed outs. If you need to regain health in a pinch, you should opt for First Aid Kit or some other form of health regen, such as the Scale Hostage Taker. This is why I opted for Grinder as my starting perk deck. I'm able to passively regenerate health just through doing damage, and I'm using weapons that fire a lot of bullets very fast. Lastly, go for headshots. In most other games, a headshot does a fixed multiplier's worth of damage, maybe 2 or 3, but in Payday 2, all headshots are not created equal. On normal and hard, most enemies take double damage from headshots, but beyond that, headshot multipliers typically ramp up to about 4 or 6 on overkill, and then dial back down on harder difficulties. You might also notice some special enemies in the mix. These guys are more or less not like the special infected in Left 4 Dead. They're uncommon enemies that try to break up densely packed teams to cause you all to split up and get killed individually. On normal, you will only see shields and snipers. Shields just simply block bullets. You'd need a sniper rifle, explosive, fire, or armor-piercing rounds to punch through them. Or you could simply walk around them. You'll also run into snipers, though only on some maps. They're usually high up or far away from the map, so you can't get up close and personal to them. They're able to punch through your armor and do health damage in a single shot, so be wary of their red lasers. You might also want a more accurate weapon to handle them at a distance. Even just a weak pistol or rifle can handle them, as they really don't have much health. Starting on hard difficulty, you'll notice enemies clad in blue and yellow. These are the tasers. When they have a direct line of sight on you, you can be tased. Your viewpoint will jitter around, you won't be able to go anywhere, and you'll shoot your weapon randomly. Take them out by finding them and pointing your gun their way. Get a teammate to help you out. You can still highlight them by pressing F like any other special unit. Probably should have mentioned that first. Special units you can highlight by pressing F to shout at them. Or you can invest in Ghost's shockproof skill to give yourself a chance to free yourself with ease. Starting on the very hard difficulty, you'll spot cloakers. Cloakers usually spawn in pairs, although they can appear in certain predetermined areas like dropping through a vent, and they will attempt to charge at you. When you hear the distinctive sound, which I will just play now, look around for them. You can spot them by their green glowing goggles. They have very high headshot multipliers, luckily, so they can be rather easy to take out. Cloakers have 2 attacks aside from their gun. They have a leaping lunge that can potentially knock you on the ground immediately, or a much more cinematic charge attack that is always a knockdown unless he dies first. While cloaker knockdowns, or tasers for that matter, don't count as using up a bleed out, they do knock a lot of health out of you, which can be a problem, and if you're way out of the way, your crew might not be able to get to you. Keep an eye out for cloakers, especially in dark places or around tight corners. Also, starting on very hard, you can begin to find bulldozers. Bulldozers have tons of health, but they move relatively slowly. Dealing damage through body shots really isn't an option with these guys. Deal 150 damage to their head to reveal their glass visor. Another 160 damage will break that, revealing their face. From here, just about 400 damage to the face will take them out. Don't get too close, though. A bulldozer can deal a ton of damage in a single shot with their shotgun. I'd say be about 10 meters away. That's a good safe distance. If you're unsure, just find some cover and pop in and out of it. The last enemy I will cover in this basics video is the medic, who appears starting on the overkill difficulty. Medics can instantly revive one enemy in their 7-meter radius when they run out of health, but they need 3 seconds in order to cool again. Medics usually aren't a problem. You can just shoot the enemy again to kill them, and you might not even realize what's happening aside from the green outline. But where medics get tricky, though, is when they're around bulldozers, who can have their thousands of health brought back up in an instant. Whenever you see a medic, shoot right at him. He's usually the most common special enemy in the game. Once they start spawning, most special enemies you can only see 2 on the map at a time. These guys you will see 3. And they can become a problem on much harder difficulties. There's more special enemies for sure. We'll come back at a later time to talk Overkill and Mayhem and more of that type of stuff. But for now, we finished the heist. We return to the loadout screen, and here we can choose another mission. I'm going to go a bit out of order and pick Brooklyn Bank. This is the 2017 Christmas mission. And I'm going to use the push daggers melee. I'll talk this heist in more detail in the future, but for now, just know that getting 10 kills with the push daggers unlocks the Parabellum pistol for use. It's a bit too expensive now, so we really can't buy one, but we've at least unlocked it now and not later. Keep an eye on the daily, weekly, and monthly side jobs, and look at the other missions just below. This is another thing on the CrimeNet screen along the left side. These can award you bonus cash and experience, maybe unlock new weapons, so it's worth it to complete these whenever you can. Harder missions will pay out more, but if you're still feeling a bit green, there is nothing wrong with playing normal or hard at the moment. You get enough money from the basics to buy one gun of each, and as long as you pick something that isn't the Peacemaker or the Patchet, you should be fine for at least normal and hard for a little while. With enough luck and maybe a friend or two, you will eventually reach level 25. Here there should have been a pop-up about a new safe house, but I didn't get it. I don't know why. But what happened is that Hoxton burnt down the old dry cleaner, and now we have access to a rather spiffy abandoned office to work out of. I mean, it's a bit of a fixer-upper, but we will talk the safe house and Continental coins next time. Till then, thanks for watching, and until next time, I will see you around. If you like this video and you'd like to see more, I'd recommend subscribing. Patreon and social media links are in the description.